Dee. Y'all popping on early. Mana mana dee 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 dee. Woo! I'm singing along with myself. Mana mana dee dee. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Live. I am just going to stall for a couple minutes while people get their alerts, and we are having a little bit of technical difficulty apparently today. We think we have it solved, but let us know. Things are not good, Susie says. What are you watching on Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay, so Facebook might be a problem. Let us know in the chat where you're watching. Facebook Get Organized Challenge, or the YouTube channel, and how the feed is for you on each of those, because it seems like we might be having some issues on one of them, and I'm going to encourage you to pop over to another one before we get started.
You're back now. Facebook. See you on YouTube.
YouTube is good.
Facebook
Sounds like
is working.
Facebook. Are you Get Organized Challenge screen on Facebook, or Totally Tiffany screen, Totally Tiffany page? Okay, I'm just going to pop in, and then Susie, you interrupt me if something's going on that I need to know about.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, Slide Stash and Store collection is on sale today, 30% off for the full collection. And I believe that is 3 of each of all the sizes. So if you need more Slide Stash and Store, today is a great day to pick it up. I believe that 30% off the entire collection is a one-day, 24-hour only promotion. So I'll talk a little bit about Slide Stash and Store and how I have this organized, and kind of go through some of the tools and that type of thing and before today is over. What I want to know is, what did you purchase on the HSN 24-hour craft day? And do you have questions about organizing it? And I'm going to show you a couple of things that I got on HSN craft day. So the first thing, I really love these giant letter dies. VR. Some of you, I demoed these actually, but I tried them out. This is the 5x7 pocket and the 5x7 magnet. And you can get 6 on each, and I've got 2 sheets in there. So I've got 12 letters, numbers, punctuation marks, and it only took me 6 magnets and 3 pockets. I did try this on the slimline storage, and it's more efficient on the 5x7. So for those of you who are thinking maybe that'll be good on slimline, I was able to get more in less space in the 5x7. So that was one fun thing. The other fun thing, which I know some of you picked up because you emailed and texted me about it, was the print maker, which I absolutely have fallen in love with. Even Susie, who's not really a crafter, fell in love with the print maker. And she's like, can I take that home and play with it? So I got the print maker, my ribbon, and then the guides for it as well, the ribbon guide, and then just the alignment tool and my extra cartridges, ink cartridges. They're all in the Leanne bag. So I wouldn't recommend this for something that you're going to bang around somehow, like, I don't know, traveling with it some way or whatever, because there isn't a lot of protection around the print maker, but it is a great way to store all the pieces together and put it on your shelf for use at home. Not that you couldn't put it in your tote bag, but just keep in mind, there is no padding. It is a printer, so it's got some delicate parts to it. But the Leanne bag is a great way to store that. All right, so let's jump right in with questions. I don't think I have any other announcements today. Okay, Julie Sleeve and Fitman said, speaking of carts, can you recommend a cover for the original paper cart and or the newer version? We no longer make them. So barring somebody who might be watching today, or if you want to put a post up on the Facebook, the Get Organized Challenge group, I'm asking if someone has one to sell. We did do an apron for both the original and the newer version. There may be on our website some aprons left for the newer version, and those are just 2 side panel aprons. It doesn't go all the way around the back. I didn't look. I just assumed we didn't have them. Maybe Susie could do a search on our website for paper cart aprons and see if there's any left. But I don't think so. Terry Wiegand, woo woo. Hi, Terry. Terry is the namesake of the Terry Buddy Bag, says, you mentioned making all the magnets uniform. Are the 8x5 ones still going to be white on both sides? I love that for seeing stamps, etc. I don't know, but I will verify that for you. Let me get my pencil here. It is nice to see the white on both sides. The one reason that we have dark and light is so you know which side is magnetic and which is not. But it's also very easy to figure that out for yourself. Okay, Terry also says, where did you get that adorable top dress you had on at the Friday Fiverr pop-in? Denimish kind of. I got that at Walmart, and it's a little dress, and it's like one of my favorite summer pieces I got last year, so I don't know if it's still around, but it has a little collar, and then it has pockets. Yay! Something we love in a little dress, but I actually picked that up. It was kind of an emergency buy. Park and I were in Kanab, and I didn't bring the right kind of clothing with me, and I needed something that was lightweight that I could just throw on. And Nancy XB Lorden, speaking of magnets, I've still not found my die file magnetic strips. When will they be back in stock? I don't know that they ever will be, Nancy, but I might have some around. So email customer service at Totally-Tiffany and ask Leanne to check, because every once in a while there's like little stashes of things around and we can track them down for you. Nancy of the Nancy Tote.
No aprons, by the way.
Oh, there are
Out of stock.
There are no paper card aprons in stock. I'm sorry to say. Magnet strips. I'm writing this down too, Nancy, and we'll see if we can't find some for you. I have a meeting with some people at the U.S. warehouse this afternoon, and maybe they have a line on some, but we'll figure out if we can get those to you. If there's any around, we will track them down. I guess I could ask about paper card aprons too in that meeting. You never know when something weird is floating around. Okay. Patricia Odell Johnson, what is the best storage for clear acrylic blocks? It just depends how many of them you have and how you're going to use them. But usually something like the Irene Buddy Bag, because you can stand them up in the Irene bag and pull them out rather than stacking them on top of each other. The Irene's going to handle most sizes of clear acrylic blocks. If you have a lot of really big ones, then you might need to bump up more to something like the Sue Buddy Bag. That could be an option as well. The 12x12 Creative Memories cutting system. There was a couple of questions about that, and Vilma Garcias Fernandez put up some pictures in the Get Organized Challenge group. She said, organize my Creative Memories cutting system, including templates, blades, and cutting mat in the 12x12 paper taker. So take a look at the Get Organized Challenge group, but it seems like the 12x12 paper taker is a good fit for that. Now, I was going to try and check on this morning. I forgot. We do have the 12x12 storage and supply cases, which are the 12x12 version of these guys, right? With the divided drawers that you can pull in and out. I think they're targeted for September release, if I remember correctly. And I think they're going to be released on HSN. And so that may be, I'll check on that too. 12 by 12 SASC release date. And those are going to be the same dimension, basically, so you could still get the big stuff in there, I think. And then they're going to have the sliding drawers, which might be a little bit easier for segmenting out the different bits and pieces. But the 12 by 12, thank you, Vilma Garcia Fernandez, for posting that picture. The 12 by 12 storage and supply paper taker works great for that. Ginny Colley said, I am reorganizing my whole craft room and I have purchased some of Totally Tiffany's 12 by 12 paper handlers. I've been looking at cube organizers to put inside my closet that would accommodate these, but most of the openings are not big enough. Does anyone know of a cube organizer that easily holds the paper handlers upright? The IKEA Kallax or the IKEA Expedit? The Expedit's the older one. Kallax is what's available now. Both of those units will hold the 12 by 12 paper handlers. Also, Michael's, Joann, and Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure if all of them still carry them. They also made a cube system, which is even bigger than the Kallax or Expedit. And so the 12 by 12 paper handlers will also fit in those cubes as well. So any of the craft ones will work, but usually the ones from like Target and Walmart, other kinds of stores, they're a little bit smaller. So look for the craft supply, craft brands, Michael's, Joann, Hobby Lobby, or the IKEA Kallax will work as well. Jeannie Colson says, do you have a storage box solution for the diamond press new storage envelope that is 7 inches high and 10.5 inches long? And you know, I think this is only 6.5 inches tall, but I'm going to measure it because I thought, what do we have? That someone asked me also about a 7 by 10 envelope yesterday for another thing. Yeah, this is only 6.25 inches tall. So the short answer, no. They would fit in the A4 8.5 by 11 fab file, but you're going to have 2 inches, they're going to be 2 inches deep in there because that fab file is probably 9 inches tall and 11 inches long. But the Kirsten bag isn't long enough at 10.5 inches. So sadly, no. But someone else asked me about this dimension also. So I'll take a look and see what else is out there. If there's enough product out there to warrant that size, it's an easy. Woo woo. So you can get them on our website, and they're probably available still right now as well at scrapbook.com. So not sure where you're ordering from, but our website or possibly scrapbook.com. Stacy Stratus says, do you have any solutions for storing tubes of acrylic paints? They range in length from 3.5 inches by 1 to 7 inches by 2. Made a separate post on this page with a photo of them stuffed into a 6-drawer storage and supply case, but that just isn't working well. They are a problem. I have a bunch of different sizes. I understand exactly what your issues are. They might be better in the 2-drawer storage and supply case. Right? So this storage and supply case, this is the single drawer. This is the 2-drawer drawer. And then these are 2 drawers from the 4-drawer. So if you mix and match, you could get your longer, your 7.5 in here and your smaller ones in this size. And that might be the best option that we've got right now. I don't know if you're sorting them by color or they're all acrylics and they're all in tubes. But if you have a lot, and the best option might be coming again in that 12 by 12 storage and supply case. If you have a lot of them, the 12 by 12 has a 6-drawer configuration that's different than the 6-drawer configuration for for the smaller one, which is 6 narrow skinny drawers. The 6 drawer for the 12 by 12 is 3 long skinny drawers and then 3 smaller rectangular drawers. So that's going to be big. It's going to hold a lot. I don't know how many you have, but right now this is probably the best. I'm trying to think through. I mean, other than splitting them up into multiple bags, like the Sue bag would fit a lot. I think there's probably some pictures of the Sue, like kind of loaded with acrylics on the website. But then you kind of have to dig through them. Like I like a flatter, more visual option for that. So I'm assuming you want them in a bag rather than standing them up. If you're going to stand them all up, well, that only works for the tubes that have the flat lid. So I was going to say you put them in a 4-level stadium arranger and that would work great. But if you've got the tubes don't have the flat lid, that's not going to work. Sorry, I wish I had a better option for you, Stacy. Trevia Curry says, I'm having trouble with the catalog. I have shape die cuts, square circle, etc., and I don't know what category they should be in my catalog. So I would just have a section called shapes, because you do have all kinds of things that are just squares, chevrons, circles, stars, all of those type of things. So I have a section called shapes. And then, so in that shape section, I would probably have examples of my heart dies, but I would also duplicate those examples over in Valentine's Day, because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be looking more like 99 times out of 100. If I think heart, I'm going to go to Valentine's, but they could also work in that shapes section. So especially a lot with the nesting dies as well, right? Because they're just mostly ovals and circles and squares, that type of thing. So I would just create a section called shapes and put it in there. And then anything that has some crossover. So if you have stars, you might want to include those in, if you're American, 4th of July, somewhere else that you think about stars. But in general, I would just go with the shapes category and they can all go in there. And then when you're looking, as you're flipping through, you're going to see all this, especially with the nesting dies. And also, I think there's some examples on the website or in the blog. So when I did the nesting dies on mine, I wrote how big they were on each one of those nested examples. And that made it easy to know, oh, I need a 1-inch, circle, or I need a 3-inch circle. I could just look and know which one it was easily, like which number punch it was or which number die it was pretty easily, because I had it written down there. So it's just another little tip for putting those together. Jane DeSanti, I think these boxes and dividers came with the cart offered several years ago that has drawers. What is a comparable product, as I don't see them on the website? I use them for storing sediments and small scraps. So what Jane is talking about are the small rectangular open top boxes that hold the 5x7 pockets. Yes, they came with the carts, and then Stephanie Bernard carried them kind of as a special item for a while. The Stamps of Life, carried them as a special item. Right now, we don't have anything like that outside of the Karen Buddy bag. So you could buy the Karen Buddy bag, and then if you're putting it in your cart, you could open them up and have, I'm pretty sure you could get 4 in. Even you might have to take the bag off to get them in the cart if that's what you want. But
Splashed off, put it back on.
all right.
It seems to be really quick when it does though.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay, let's see. Debbie Schroeder says, I love the 8-drawer storage and supply case, but the drawers only fit 7 ink cubes. Many of the ink cube bundles come in sets of 4. Any way to increase the drawer size to fit 8 cubes? Boy, probably not. I can only get 6 cubes in mine. Maybe something smaller like these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what she's talking about, the 8-drawer storage and supply case. Yeah, all of these are on the same foundation size, which means we can't make the bag any bigger or they won't all fit together. So I'm sorry to say that is probably what you're going to get, 6 per section. And then you can put 48 in there. So think maybe in the big number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 5 mementos, maybe the dots. No, still only 6. Anyway, sorry. I know that's an inconvenient fact, right? But it's just based on the fact that all of them have the same basic footprint, size footprint for that. Here's another one. I took the middle out of this one, Gina K. And so I left the small ones on the side with their coordinating daubers and then the big inks in the middle. So it's a good way to store all those kind of little goodies. Shirley Mott, can individual drawers be ordered? No, I wish they could. I'm trying to get templates that you can download and use on your Cricut and the material that you can cut through. I've been practicing and playing with some things, but we're having trouble finding material that the Cricut will cut and score that will also work. So it's something that we're thinking about and something that we get asked about on a regular basis, but we don't have a solution quite yet. Otten Tucker Kaylee says, I am looking for something to help store slimline, thin cuts, and other slimline products. Any suggestion for products to help with disorganization? Yes. Our slimline storage solution is going to be back in stock either this week or next week. It will be on Clipper Street, which is a Canadian scrapbooking company, on Facebook. Join their Facebook page so that you get a notification. I'm going to be on Clipper Street next week talking specifically about slimline. It will also be available through the Stamps of Life as soon as it's back in stock, and it will be available through scrapbook.com. So we will get some posts up on social media when it's back. It's designed to hold the stencils, the paper, the envelopes, the dies. It has the magnets and the long pockets as well. It's been super popular. Every shipment of it that we've received, we've sold out in just a couple of days. Also, you can get, I believe, not sold out yet, the slimline storage solution on HSN right now. So it's the starter box. It has 10 pockets, I believe, and 10 magnets in the box. And then you'll have to come back to our to the Stamps of Life website or scrapbook.com to buy the additional pockets and magnets you need to fill the box. But you may be able to get the box and the starter kit on HSN still. So if you search Totally Tiffany on HSN, it's called the Slimline Storage Bundle or something like that, and you'll be able to find it there. And then you'll be able to get the other accessories from a couple of different places very soon. I promise they're on their way back. All right, let's see. Carla Swafford, I bought the scrap rack and need something for my die cuts. I'm wondering if you're talking about things that you've already cut, like the pieces that you've already cut with your dies, or die cuts that you purchased. And those can go right in your scrap rack. So whatever categories you have, if you have a die cut of, a Christmas tree, that's going to go in your Christmas section, or a die cut of a birthday cake, that's going to go in the birthday section. Now, if you're talking about dies and you don't have a lot of them, those can also go in your scrap rack. If you have a lot of them and you're wondering, how do I manage these along with my scrap rack, then definitely cataloging them and using one of our solutions, whether it's the 5x7, the slimline die, the Karen bag, the Kirsten bag. There's a lot of different options for die storage. So tell me more about, are you storing the already cut dies and then those can go in your scrap rack, or do you need solutions for the actual dies themselves? I'm happy to answer that question. Tammy Middleset, struggling with my brushes that I blend with and putting them in a bag. They're just kind of falling all over. Do you have a suggestion on how to organize those? I'm wondering if you are talking about this type. So this is that 8-drawer storage and supply case again. This type of blending brush, or can pull them out and lay them out as you're working and then stuff them back in. Unfortunately, I think this is one of the things on my list. I don't think there's a good solution in the marketplace for that type of blending brushes, because everything in the marketplace has them standing up, so you'd have to grab them by the brush. And I think they should go the other way so you can grab them by the handle. So that is something that is on my list and should be, but it'll be next year before we see that. So just so you know, I'm working on it. If those are the type that you're asking questions about. Barbara Sibley says, any word about a dispenser for double-sided adhesive tapes? No, but it's something I keep proposing. So the problem with the double-sided adhesive tapes that we're kind of up against, it's not as big is that when you pull the tape off the dispenser and rip the side that's not sticky, because it's not sticky, there's nothing that's sticking it to the dispenser anymore. Like with regular Scotch tape, the sticky side is down, so when you rip it off, it stays stuck. When you rip off the double-sided adhesive, it doesn't stay stuck because there's nothing to it. So it is something that's sort of been discussed and on the drawing board, but
something to hold it in there.
Yeah, you gotta
understood my language.
Right. You gotta get something to hold it in there, and
You can figure that out.
and that's the challenge with it. So, and that's the thing about the ones that are in the dispenser, right? Like the big, like your ATGs and that type of thing. Well, even tape runners, is the way they're designed inside that thing. It takes up it just dispenses the adhesive. So, but pulling it off a roll is much harder solution, and especially financially. Like, can we make a dispenser that people actually want to pay for or will pay for that does what we needed to do? But right now the problem is the sticky side is up when you pull it off, so that you can pull the tab off, but it's still there. It's still floating around. I know you've been asking me about it for a while, Barbara. It never really drops all the way off my radar. Okay. Jill Williams says, hello from the UK. What would you recommend to store Tim Holtz mini ink pads? So you can get 48 Tim Holtz mini ink pads in the 8-drawer storage and supply case. You can get 16. Let's see if I have it here. You can get 16. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You can get 24 Tim Holtz mini ink pads in the Shelly Buddy Bag. Now, the difference being with the Shelly, obviously, the shape of the bag is different, but you can see I have one facing forward, one facing backward, and one sitting on the top. So getting to the ones underneath isn't that simple or easy, but you can store a bunch of them in a small space if that doesn't bother you. I guess you could also not, so I have Memento inks in here as well. You could also not put the two on the top, and then it'd be easier to pull the two out from underneath, but then they also move around. And you know, one of the problems with ink pads, no matter who the manufacturer is, unless it's the magnet or the flip pad, the tops don't stay on. So keeping everything snug is important to keeping the tops on. So 2 options, the Shelly Buddy Bag, 24, or the 8-drawer storage and supply case is going to hold 48 of the Tim Holtz small ink pads. Okay, one thing that comes up regularly is what I'm doing as a crafter. And so this weekend, I am, as lots of you know, I have another channel where I do a podcast. And this weekend, I'm working on life rules. And so I started this little journal, if you will, using a cinch to create my little book to guide me through this rule number 2 exercise. And I, of course, am using a craft and carry workstation for that. So I've got all the pieces in here while I'm finishing this up right here in the craft and carry workstation. But the best thing about this is if you are like me and you were into Project Life for a while, you still probably have a ton of Project Life cards, right? So I've got my 2x3s and my 4x6s in here, like grouped by theme. And they were a perfect, so this is one of the folding cards right here. And then I added, like, that's just a tag, but so this is one of the big 4x6 cards where I can write the title of the section. And then some of them, so one of the things about the 2x3, about all the sizes, is one side is vertical and one But the exciting thing for me was looking for a way to use up your Project Life cards, a little mini album, especially with Christmas around the corner. And mini albums are great little gifts, or mini journals that people can fill and write in themselves. So there's my general crafty tip of the week. Use up your Project Life cards by creating little mini albums with them. They're a good weight for that. Okay. Do you have any questions, Susie?
No, you're back on.
Okay.
You're out for a minute.
I'm on, I'm in, I'm out. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk about real quickly before we end today's show, which, remember, we have a $25 gift certificate giveaway every week, but you have to comment to get into the drawing for that. So make sure that you are put in a comment, give us your name, or your name's going to pop up, but where are you, your favorite TT product, how long you've been following, are you new, ask a question, whatever it is. Just get your name in there so that Leanne can draw out a winner before we wrap up the Tuesday Live today. So some of you have seen this. I'm going to try to move this out of the way, Susie. You might have to zoom a little here. But a few weeks ago, I went through, so Slide Stash and Store. If you are unfamiliar with Slide Stash and Store, these are Slide Stash and Store trays. This whole shelf here, up here, there's a couple spread around to other places. They do fit in, the 1 and the 2, the smaller ones, do fit in the IKEA Kallax that when you buy the 9, the thing that divides it into 9 slots. And I think we've put up some pictures of that before. Those will fit in there. You can just, I know a lot of people like, this is the tray for the clip and store. A lot of people like to put their Slide Stash and Store, load this up with that and slide it into their cube, and that way they can take that whole set of Slide Stash and Store out at the same time rather than pulling one in and out. So they do fit on there. But again, 30% off, and I think today only on that, and you're going to get the total collection, which is all 6 sizes. One of the things I love most about this product, and I didn't think about it when I was designing it, right? I designed it for all the bottles and jars and things that you knock over when you're reaching into them because they didn't have any way to keep them standing up straight. But it is an excellent way to sort, store, organize your tools. So this is a score, sorry, this is a bow maker. Now I could fit something else in here as well. So if you look at this one, these are 2 different punch boards from We Are. And these types of things, so I've got the instructions of the extra pieces. They have all the little pieces on them. They're bumpy, they're not flat, they're hard to store. But when you slide them into Slide Stash and Store, now it's kind of squared everything up. So it makes it really, getting too excited. It makes it really easy to store them because they don't get hung up on each other. So instruction books, extra pieces, any of that kind of stuff. This is the number 2. So this is the smaller, the second to smallest one. But you can see as I go through 3, 4, 5, I've got all of them. And that's how easy it is, just labeled at the end. Whatever it is that I want to work with, it's right there. Something like this, right? It's got all these other little pieces to it. So you want to pull everything out at the same time. This is a great way to keep all those bits and pieces together. This, as I was just mentioning, Susie, can you hand me the cinch? It's right there, the white. Yep. a white table. So this weekend I was working with my mini cinch to create that little binder, right? This is a hard thing to store because it's not flat. Well, I just put it in here, right? I've got my big square punch, right? They're both in there. It's labeled at the end. And now I'm just, that makes a lot of noise. And now I'm just going to slide it right up back onto the shelf. It's that easy to put things away and pull them out. Most of you have seen, right? It's going to fit for buddy bags. So lots of people comment, oh, I love how your shelves are perfect fit for your buddy bags. Everybody can't do that for whatever reason. Your shelves don't have enough holes, whatever that is. This is a way to fill that space, right? So I've loaded it up with all the ribbon buddy bags. And now I filled the space left to right, back to front, top to bottom, and it's still easy to access. Pull it out, get the color ribbon group or the theme ribbon group that you want to work with. And again, this will fit in your IKEA Kallax or in your IKEA or in your Expedit. And then different buddy bags for different things. I mean, these are Edna and Merle. These are Brandy. So this is the next size down. I've got 3 Brandy buddy bags in there. I've got long glue sticks. I've got long templates and embossing folders, all different types of rulers. But the big thing is filling up that space and having access. So if you are new to the line or you haven't yet tried the Slide Stash and Store as a way to organize, and of course, there's a sheet that you can print out. If you go to Slide Stash and Store on the website, you can print a sheet that gives you all the dimensions for them. And then if you're kind of looking around the house going, where do I need these in my craft room or in the kitchen or bathroom or whatever, that's going to help you kind of decide which ones you need. But today, the collection, which is 3 of each of the 6 sizes, 18 boxes, is on special, 30% off. If you go to the Totally Tiffany website, click on the On Special tab, it'll pop up right there. If you search Slide Stash and Store, you'll see all the individuals because you can buy individual sizes. But the deal of the day is 30% off that collection of them. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Just a minute, I saw a post here. Okay, I think we're good to go. So
wait, I've got somebody asking, the Slide Stash and Store on the website show little clips that hold the labels. Where did you get those?
Those are quilting clips. So you can order them on Amazon. And do I have any on here? Oh yeah, right here. So I just clipped it up through the hole. I clipped the little sign on. And it also gives you a finger pull on there, right? It makes like a little, that's why I liked it. But they're just, here, I'll pull it out so you can see what it really looks like. That is it. It's flat on one side and rounded on the other. Can you see that? Maybe if I put this black up. Let's see. Is that better? You can see what that looks like, maybe.
We'll move your fingers.
I can't see what my fingers are doing.
There you go. That's kind of
So.
better.
Yeah, it's just a quilting clip, and I think you get 50 of them or something for $4 or $5, or I don't remember. I have no idea if that's the price. Actually, I bought them a long time ago, but they weren't that, but they were not that expensive. And then all I did was just hook it through the hole, bring it up like that, and then I took my little tag, wrote on it, oops, and then slid it into the clip, and that gave me the label and the little pull. So. Quilting clips. That's all they are. Very simple. All right, my friends, let's see. We'll get a drum roll for a winner. You don't have any more questions, do you, Suze?
No.
Okay, this week's winner, Roz Giancola. Roz, you have won a $25 gift card on the Totally Tiffany website. You just need to reach out to prizes with an S, prizes at crafterscompanion.com. Tell them you're this week's winner on Tuesday Live. If you do not already have a Club Inspire account, set that up first. Let them know that you have your Club Inspire account set up because they're going to put that $25 right into your account. All right, my friends, I think that's it for the week. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Tuesday Live. I will see all of you next week.